Hello everyone, my name is Felicia, and I'm a PhD student from the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, Guangzhou. And today I'm going to present you our work on behalf of my co-authors, Zeyu, Xinyi, and my advisor, Dr. Mingming Feng. CoPracTter is a step made toward integrating personalized practice scenarios, timely feedback, and social support into an online support tool for coping with stuttering in China. Stuttering, also known as stammering, is a speech disfluency that impacts around 70 million people worldwide, including 13 million in China. The cause of this disorder varies across people, but it is identified by recurrent interruptions of the natural flow of speech, or part-word repeats. Although many people do not perceive stuttering to be a kind of disability, stuttering could have a variety of negative impacts on the everyday lives of PwS, which is the abbreviation of people who stutter. For example, it could cause low self-esteem and self-perceived communication competence, and even workplace discrimination. Sadly, the current support for PwS is quite limited. Most of them rely on speech-language therapists and pathologists. While their service is expensive and there is no sufficient speech-language therapists worldwide, especially in China. Although there are some mobile applications designed for PwS, most of them still depend on speech-language therapists, and none were designed for PwS to efficiently practice on their own. Meanwhile, most state-of-the-art research about stuttering and ways to deal with it was done in the Western context, with literature proving that there are some differences in the stuttering behavior and perceptions across culture. We were inspired to investigate our first research question. What are the stuttering situations that PwS in China encounter? What are their current workarounds and challenges? So we did a formative study to obtain a thorough understanding of the situations of PwS in China. We first collected posts about stuttering from popular online communities that are frequently visited by PwS in China. All of our co-authors then conducted a semantic analysis on the data collected. Then, to validate the findings we got and identify potential user needs, we further conducted online semi-structured interviews with 12 PwS. From the formative study, we concluded the experience of PwS in China and 5 design considerations. Due to the time limit here, I will only explain 2 findings and DCs. If you are interested in other findings, please refer to our paper. We found that overall, there is a great need of speech practice applications, specifically designed for PwS, and the stuttering always happened in scenarios that made people nervous. While different individuals have their own personalized nervous scenarios, so we derived the design consideration that the practice scenarios provided by the application should also be able to trigger pressure and nervousness. In addition, we also find that PwS need more personalized peer feedback and advice, as they can only get very general comments from the online communities. So we derived the DC that the application should build a more supportive community with peer feedback. Based on the design considerations, we conducted an iterative design process, and here is a demo of our final prototype. The first video demonstrates the practice scenario. Before starting the scenario, there is a background information and countdown. Then the person in the video will talk to the user and ask him some questions, requiring the user to answer.
Users will see 8 real-time feedback indicators in the screen, which are front camera, transcript, speed, speed change, pitch, pitch change, volume, and volume change. Here, users can give detailed feedback and ratings for each section, and give the overall comments finally.
Hi, my name is Felicia. Nice to meet you.
Users can also check their completed tasks to see other users' comments and feedbacks for the user. Users can click Sum Up button if they like or reply to the commenter.
To evaluate the effectiveness of the features in this prototype, we conducted a 7-day field study with 11 PwS participants online simultaneously. All participants were required to use our prototype to complete at least 2 conversation tasks each day. Upon finishing daily tasks, they were asked to fill in daily questionnaires. The result from our study indicated that all participants find our tasks successfully triggered their stuttering and nervousness, and they believe that by practicing these tasks, they can deal with this kind of situations better in their lives. While more tasks and more efficient ways of augmented training of certain syllables should be investigated. Meanwhile, more personalized and engaging stress-inducing mechanisms should be designed. In addition, the timely subjective peer feedback and social support were found to be effective. There are also many perfunctory and meaningless comments that should be avoided. The real-time objective feedback was found to be helpful but resulting information overloading problems to some participants. So based on the study result, we concluded some limitations and future work. First, the visualization of the real-time objective feedback should be carefully designed to avoid information overloading. A potential solution of this is to move some indicators to a post-practice report for users to reflect on after their practice. Second, a more powerful stuttering detection and classification model should be leveraged to provide more helpful objective indicators. To do this, a Chinese stuttering utterance dataset should also be collected, as right now there is no large-scale Chinese stuttering dataset, which limited the performance of the state-of-art stuttering detection models on Chinese utterance. In addition, the online community of PwS still has some problems, like negative comments and difficulty in finding helpful advice. Last but not least, we surprisingly found that people who do not stutter may also find our prototype helpful. For instance, a person with hearing problem told us that he wants to use our prototype to practice speaking as well. This indicates that some design considerations and features of this work could be generalized to other communities and user groups. That's all of my presentation. Thank you for listening, and if you're interested in knowing more about this work, please feel free to contact us.